Hello and welcome back to FE7 Eliwood Hard Mode 0% Growths. This is chapter 26X, which is the Gaiden chapter in which we need to go across this crazy water temple place and seize the throne from Sonia. It's basically Nino's paralogue, and as a result, Nino is required to be deployed. I'm also bringing Priscilla, Marcus, Harken, Florina, Hawkeye, Ninian, Eliwood, Pent, Fiora, and Heath. So this is one of the more gimmicky chapters in FE7, of which there are quite a number, as you've already seen if you've been watching this playthrough. In this one, the gimmick is obviously the water, but then the fact that there are these bridges that will appear and disappear on a certain progression to connect different sets of these little islands. As it turns out, however, the bridges are completely irrelevant to the solution that I have for this chapter, because it takes too long for them to do anything. I guess I shouldn't say completely irrelevant, because there's bridges that show up here and here that allow reinforcements that spawn in here to attack me, but other than that. Anyway, actually this is the second time I'm recording this chapter, and the first time there was something wrong with the audio. I think it's because I was doing a video export while recording, and I didn't realize that would screw with the audio, but in any case, I actually, between then and now, found a better solution that takes one fewer turns, so that'll be cool. I gave an energy ring to Harken, which is one of the few stat boosters that I've actually used to this point. I've been hoarding them in general, waiting for when I really need them, and for the most part, that just hasn't happened. But here, that energy ring allows Harken to one-round this enemy, who's otherwise very difficult to deal with. It allows him to one-round these guys reliably. I mean, usually he can one-round one of them, but not both, depending on what exact stats they roll. And then it for sure allows him to one-round Sonia, so that's all to the good. Another thing I want to check is, yeah, this guy's got 14 magic. Okay, sometimes this guy has less than 14 magic. He has a Berserk Staff, so if he has 14 magic, then he can Berserk from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so he can Berserk these 5 spots. If he doesn't have that, then he can only Berserk these 2 spots, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, just these 2 spots, which is a lot better for me, but oh well. It doesn't matter too terribly much for the solution that I have at this point. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? Probably not much, so I think I'm just gonna get started. So, first thing I want to make note of is that there's a guy down here with a bolting tome, and one of the things that I changed about my solution since the first time I recorded it is that I was having Fiora fly down and take this guy out on turn 1 so that I didn't have to deal with him. But it turns out that I can move faster if I just leave him alive and let him hit Nino on turn 1, and then after that he doesn't actually really come into play. So what we're going to do instead with Fiora is Harken is going to come down here with the hammer, and Fiora is going to rescue him, come over that, and then Heath is going to take and drop Harken onto this island. So we're basically doing the allies crossing the Pacific here with the island hopping, so well, I guess I haven't actually occupied this one yet, but we're hopping to this island, and then we're going to hop to this island, and then we're going to hop to go invade the mainland. Anyway. Then we want to have Florina grab Pent and come over here. And Ninian is going to dance for her. We're going to drop Pent off in the middle as well. And the nice thing about this is it means that on turn 2, he can rescue Ninian across. This is one of the big things that's like accelerating the solution relative to what I had before. So, I was having a lot of trouble finding a way to use the rescue staff here because it's so hard to get... Like, there's not a lot of room to move, so it's hard for, like, you know, to do something like run Pent forward, dance for him, run him forward again, and then rescue somebody else. Like, there's not really anywhere to go. But by getting him onto here, we can rescue Ninian herself. So, and that means that we don't have to use our flyers to pick her up, which means that we can have her dance in the middle next turn. Okay, so next up we're going to have Eliwood come over here and rescue Ninian. And then Jafar is going to come over here and trade for some weapons that he probably won't use, but just in case. And he's also going to take Ninian, and I guess I should also talk about Jafar, huh? Yeah, so Jafar is, well, he's got half speed and skill right now, so maybe we'll deal with that first and then come back to this. So let's have Priscilla come over here, take Ninian, drop her off, like so, and then we're gonna have Hawkeye come over here, and Hawkeye is basically just gonna try to wall off. There's these two guys to start here, but then there's reinforcements here, and then as I mentioned, there's reinforcements over here. He's just gonna try to wall all those off. We don't care whether he killed them or not. We just need them to not get to the squishies. Anyway, so then Marcus is going to grab Eliwood so that he doesn't get hit by that Siege Tome. And okay, now I'll mention stuff about Jafar. So yeah, Jafar has very, very good combat stats. He's got the second highest strength on the team after Harken. He's only 2 below Harken before I gave Harken the energy drop. Speed is incredible. 24 speed is enough to double pretty much everything right now, and that, you know, it like is well ahead of where anybody else is. The next highest is 17 from Harken and from Pent. So it's just like just blows that out of the water. 15 defense, 11 res, and 34 HP. It's a little light on the HP if you compare it to Harken, on obviously much lighter than Hawkeye, but in terms of defenses, it's pretty comparable to those other elite units, Pent included. Pent's obviously got the defense and res flipped, but you know, very similar overall stat line there. And so yeah, I mean, he's got lower con than well, I guess Pent has 8 con as well. But anyway, so you know, not as good at using heavy weapons, but it doesn't really matter. He's got so much speed, and also he uses swords, which are generally pretty light, so for the most part that doesn't really matter. And can actually be an advantage because it's easier to rescue him. Starts with a sword rank, so you can't complain there. So really the only issue with Jafar is his lack of a 1-2 range option. There is a light brand in the desert that I did not pick up, but actually I'm going to go ahead and end my turn while I'm talking about this. Let Nino get hit by the Siege Tome. She does survive. Oh, let's go, Pent. That doesn't actually matter unless he crits this guy. Okay. I'll take it. Yes, let's go. Anyway. So, what was I gonna say about... Oh yeah, there's a light brand in the desert. The light brand doesn't really provide that much power range anyway, though, because it has like halved might. I want to say it's something along those lines. Oh, hey, Nino dodged. So like, yeah, you can have that 1-2 range option, but you can only have one sword user using it, and it's not that good anyway. So, yeah, I mean, the lack of 1-2 range options definitely hurts Jafar, as well as just the lower might of swords relative to axes and lances. Which is why it's one of the reasons why Harken is the main doer of things in this chapter rather than Jafar. The other reason is because I need Jafar to open this chest, which has a speed wing in it anyway. Also, Harken has weapon triangle over the majority of the enemies around here, which are these wyverns. So Jafar doesn't really get a chance to shine here. But, I mean, he's definitely a very solid combat unit. Okay, so we actually don't need to kill either of those generals or finish off either of those generals, which is really quite nice. That means that we can drop off, or that we can use Pent and Harken to do things other than attack those guys. Actually, what doesn't really matter, because Harken would have been able to finish them regardless. But let's see. So what we want to do now is drop Harken here, because from here, all of these wyverns die to him. But what I want to make sure is, yeah. So what we want to do. Let's see. That's fine. So we don't want you to equip an L-Fire this time. Just a fire should be good. And then we're gonna rescue Ninian. Whoop. Okay, so now we want also for you to equip a Killer Axe, because this guy, while Harken does double him, he doesn't one-round him with like an Iron Axe. Anyway, so what we want to do is, like I said, drop Harken off, dance, so that whoever is dropping him off doesn't get destroyed by a combination of these wyverns and this guy, who's actually pretty scary. He's got 17 speed and a bow. So I think, in general, I want... well, actually, I think I end up putting them both... trying to remember. I think it's... both of them end up at, like, equidistant from the front, so it probably doesn't matter who I do this with. That's the wrong person I was about to rescue. There's also a wyvern coming in from up here, which I have a tendency to forget about. I'm going to try not to forget about this time. 1, 2, 3, 4... 7, 8. Now, this guy can reach Heath here, but luckily, like, Pent can just destroy him next turn, so he probably will attack Heath, but it's okay. Alright, meanwhile, we want to start working on getting Jafar and Eliwood across. So we're going to have markets. Actually, I need to make sure that I don't do this wrong. Yeah, okay. Marcus, give Eliwood to Florina. Come back up here. Jafar. Just gonna come down here. And I think the way that we want to do this is... so I did this, like, drop Eliwood here, leave Florina there, and have Fiora... oh, wait, never mind. I don't know what I thought I was doing there. That's fine. Okay, so... we don't want Fiora in range of that wyvern, so I guess we'll put her here. Yeah, it's... the thing that's tricky, that gets tricky about this is trying to figure out, like, what order to bring forward Jafar and Eliwood, and with whom, so that basically I want to end up with, there's like a turn, like 3 turns from now, where I like drop off Harken over here, and I want to end up with Fiora being the one to do that. Making sure that that actually happens is a little difficult. to see. Hopefully I'm not forgetting what I need to do. Anyway, alright, I guess I'll go ahead and have Hawkeye finish that guy off. We've got this Wyvern up here, or sorry, Pegasus. So we're gonna get Nino out of the way. And yeah, I don't think we need to do anything with Priscilla. There's no reason to heal Hawkeye. Because like I said, it's not at all important that Hawkeye kill any of those units. It's just important that he not die, which he won't. I mean, he's too beefy. I suppose other thing I haven't really mentioned is Hawkeye has Water Walk, and for the most part, when I was trying to find solutions to this, I was taking advantage of that. And then, like, as I worked on this approach, I realized that, like, Hawkeye didn't really have anything to do, and he's a lot more reliable than Marcus at defending that choke point. I mean, Marcus does do the job, but Hawkeye just has so much HP and more defense. There's just, like, I don't think... I doubt it's possible for him to die, and, I mean, I have healing anyway, but it's like, that is to say, I doubt he can take enough damage in one turn to die, whereas Marcus at least theoretically can. Anyway, alright, so now we need to take this guy out, which we can certainly do with Pent. But we need to use the Thunder, it's fine. And then we also are going to want to heal Harken. And we also want Harken to take this guy out. So this is where the energy ring comes into play. He gets to one round this guy, which is pretty important because we can't have that guy, like, hanging around here, able to, like, shoot down my flyers. Excuse me. Okay, so then, yeah, we're gonna heal Harken up. And Heath is damaged. Luckily, it doesn't really matter. We're going to have Florina take Far, come over here. And that's gonna let Fiora rescue Harken. I guess I said 3 turns from now, and it was 2 turns from now. Anyway, we're gonna trade him an Iron Axe right now. Oh, and actually, she's gonna equip an Iron Sword too, just so I don't forget. So she's gonna drop Harken off next turn over here, just out of range of these Wyverns. And then we can have... just make absolutely sure I don't do anything stupid with that. Or with... oh, whoops. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay, that works. Almost did something stupid. Not quite. Alright, take Jafar, drop him off. Come back over here. Oh. Alright, you know what? I actually need Ninian. Maybe I can just rescue her. I don't think... Dude, oh man, I could have just danced... I just danced one... I knew I was gonna forget about this guy. I knew it! I knew it. I think we can just rescue Ninian. I don't think we need her for anything else in particular. The only thing is that we need Eliwood not to be holding Ninian, but we can deal with that without too much trouble, I think. Okay, so yeah, Nino Okay, there's no flyer over here, so Nino, you can come over here, get out of the way. Priscilla, heal Heath. And this guy, we don't care if he dies or not, so we'll just leave him alive. Yeah, I easily could have just not put Nino Nini in where I put her. Oh, I wonder if that would have killed Florina. That possibly would. I kind of forgot that that was Florina and not Fiora. Oh boy. I mean, the good news is it didn't matter. 23... Nope, nope. Or yes, sorry. She would have died. Yes. Okay, super. Super-de-duper. In the meantime, drop Harken off over here. And then go around the corner here, which means these wyverns can't reach her. So all the wyverns will suicide into Harken. Sonia will attack Fiora, but that won't kill her. This guy has a poison axe. He won't hit her. It's fine. Meanwhile, I guess we want to... this guy out with Pence. And... I mean, if we want to, we could... Actually... I mean, I guess there's no reason to open the chest this turn with Jafar. It just means he might get berserked. Which, I mean, doesn't really matter, but... So, let's, just drop Nini in, I guess. I need to make sure... Don't... Oh, I guess I need to go down here with Eliwood. Okay. Because I, again, need to avoid getting berserked. And then over here, I think... Oh, right. This guy's coming around this side. Alright, so Nino... Over here, Marcus... Well, I guess against the Slim Sword you don't really care. And... don't really need Florina over here for anything, but we could actually get Eliwood a few spaces closer. So let's just do that. I don't think it matters. Ow. Harken cleans out all the wyverns. Very good. Now a whole bunch of these enemies are gonna die. Oh, or not. Fools! All of you. Aha, that one guy's... Well, he's actually not stranded, I guess, because he could... just walk up onto the floor, but anyway, this is now you see the first of the bridge, the major bridge changes here. Anyway, all right. So first thing we're gonna do, Harken is gonna walk up and exact damage 1 round Sonia with the Brave Sword. Sonia is mistaken; she is in fact not perfect. And we get a fell contract. And then, I guess what we can do here... just because we can... 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, got the right position. We can actually come around and rescue Harken. So, see, this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, could actually berserk Harken. Now, that shouldn't matter, because you can still walk through him. But we're gonna just not get berserked. That's what I say. Alright, meanwhile, we can go ahead and open this chest. The speed wing. And then over here... it still doesn't really matter what we do. There are some pirates over here who can kind of, sort of flank, but... Not to the point where it matters. So, I guess we're just gonna do nothing. And... get berserked. Hey, no more poison. Alright, and that is Chapter 26X in 6 turns, with some unnecessary risk taken by Florina, but it all worked out in the end. Yeah, I had a lot... I started out working on this chapter. I had, like, a unreliable 7-turn clear, then I got to a reliable 7-turn clear, couldn't figure out how to get to 6. Finally figured out a way to get to 6. So if it turns out that there's, like, a 4 or 5-turn clear, I would be impressed by that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time for Chapter 27. Until then.